In today's video, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on my experience at the Chicago Pinball Expo 2024, the 40th anniversary. First up, we're going to talk about the winners and losers at the event, which machines impressed me, and which machines were kind of a little underwhelming. On top of that, I'm going to talk about all the cool people I met and got to hang around with, as well as all the other exciting products in the arcade space I got to check out for the very first time and give you my thoughts on those. Don't go away, you're not going to want to miss this episode. So Pinball Expo 2024 is in the books, and today I wanted to share my experiences. Let's start off with the Stern booth. Stern, of course, was there to advertise their X-Men, Uncanny X-Men new pinball machine, but they also had a huge surprise, and we were going to get another machine too. They went all out to showcase X-Men, and I gotta say, the game did not disappoint. It has that bizarre play field, such a unique way of shooting. Everybody seemed to love it at the expo. I myself got to play it a bunch of times, thought it was fantastic. Definitely a game I would be very interested in playing on location and potentially adding to my collection at some point or another. Jack Danger did a lot of cool shit here, and you can see why he's one of the fastest rising designers in the world of pinball. Of course, we have to talk about the huge surprise announcement of the Metallica remastered table. People were freaking out all weekend saying, well, there goes the price for the Metallica original tables, Premium and Pro. Of course, we saw a lot of those come up on Marketplace over the course of the weekend, but did get a chance to play the new table a couple times. Thought it was really, really friggin' cool. I played the old table as well, so I can definitely see the similarities. Great shooting table. Love all the extras they put in. These remastered editions definitely do have legs, and I hope to see more in the future, especially games like Ghostbusters definitely needs a remaster. Maybe there's some other band tables as well. I had fun with Metallica. I like Metallica, but I don't really need to listen to anything after the Black Album, so I don't think this is one that I'll be picking up, but definitely something I'd be interested in playing on location. So of course, Stern didn't just have their newest machines there, they had a collection of all their machines currently available to buy. One that really drew me in and I kept coming back to was Jaws. I was initially not super interested in this table, even though I'm a huge fan of the movies. It just seemed very plain, especially with the artwork, but having a chance to really sink my teeth into it, see what I did there at Expo, I became a huge fan, and this is now my top priority to pick up moving forward if I add another pinball machine. So then we headed on over to the Jersey Jack booth, which was actually insanely busy, huge lineups with people in line to play the new Avatar game. I got a chance to play Avatar several times over the weekend, not just at the expo, but also at Interium. And I've got to say, it's a beautiful pinball machine, awesome light show, so many cool things happening, shoots so much better than I'm used to with Jersey Jack. They've definitely fixed the flipper strength, but again, it's a theme that I'm not really into, and I've got to be honest, I had a real hard time getting into this game. I know other people had a lot of positive things to say, but I just didn't enjoy Avatar. I don't know if it was a combination of the game and the theme. I don't know, but one thing I did really like, even though I'm a little late to the party, I absolutely loved Elton John. Steve Ritchie did such a good job with this game. It plays so well. Elton's music is iconic. Being able to go in there and immediately put on the song that you want to play, playing through it. Elton John is fantastic. This is definitely one I'm going to be looking for anytime I hit a pinball spot, hopefully to see it on location. So another big surprise for me was we stopped by the Turner Pinball booth and finally got a chance to play Ninja Eclipse after a really bad showing last year where they were so fixated on their new card reader method, no coin box. They went back to basics and made an original looking pinball machine, and I gotta say, this machine played really well. We had a lot of fun with Turner Pinball. Ninja Eclipse seems like it's going to be a really fun game. I heard that they just sold out of all 100 pre-orders, so everything's moving ahead. Congratulations to Turner Pinball. You took the feedback, you changed your machine, and it seems like you've got a winner on your hands. And probably the belle of the ball, as it was the best looking machine, boobies on the back glass and all, was of course Dutch Pinball's Alice in Wonderland. Man, it was so hard to get a crack at this table. I never once even attempted. The lineups were crazy. The only time I went by the machine and it was actually no lineup, they were gone for a break or something. Anyways, people were playing this thing like crazy. Me personally, I've been told Dutch Pinball actually shoots a little floaty, so I don't know if it's something I would love, but it's definitely an absolutely beautiful pinball machine that seemed to be very favorably received by the audience there at the expo. So of course I was going to stop by Spooky Pinball's booth, putting the boo back in boutique pinball. You guys know I'm a huge horror movie fan, so I had to stop by and check out their latest table, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know that they have Looney Tunes as well, and it's a 1A, 1B, but obviously I'm more into the horror theme, so I was going to play Texas Chainsaw. While this isn't my favorite horror franchise of all time, actually on the lower tier, I thought the game was absolutely fantastic, and I kept getting drawn back to this game. I think this might be one of Spooky's best games to date. Personally, I had the most fun with it. I love the theme for Halloween. That draws me back, but I think Texas Chainsaw is a much better game. Now on the more disappointing side, we did stop by American Pinball and checked out their latest release, Barrio's Barbecue Challenge. I don't know what's going on with American Pinball. I gotta say, I actually did like Galactic Tank Force. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I personally really liked that machine. I played Barrio's Barbecue Challenge, and it's an okay game. Like, there's nothing wrong with the game. It shoots well and stuff like that. It's just, there's nothing that brings you back and wants you to play more and more and more. That wasn't the only disappointing thing that was at the American Pinball booth. So here we are at the Polycade area through American Pinball. Apparently American Pinball now owns the Polycade name. You can take a look at this thing. This is my first time getting a chance to look at it in person. It's a wall unit, the Polycade Senta, that's actually coming out. I know P-Dubs has one ordered. It's got some back wall lighting, and it's a wall unit. Me personally, I don't really understand this one. I think it's more like a weirder iRarcade. That would be my impression of it. Fox, what do you think so far?
I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I mean, it's got the 16x9, a little bit different. Metal construction is not bad, but still the playfield could be a little bit bigger. And yeah, what games can you get on it? I don't know.
Yeah, so I still have questions. Honestly, my favorite thing is the Polycade stool is badass, but
That's really nice.
yeah, I went in, I tried to play one game, I couldn't get it to work. I just went into Donut Dodo, and this is what comes up on the screen. Like, it's not even full screen. Maybe I can optimize it, but so far the experience with Donut Dodo hasn't been so good. Now, Fox, you seem to have a more operational unit, and for some reason you're playing Centipede with a controller.
I disagree. I know. I don't know what the application is. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't.
A little bit funky the borders.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a Polycade guy. You can let me know in the comments if you like the Polycade. I don't think it's for me. So I did finally get to see Multimorphic Pinball in action, and of course their new Princess Bride machine. I've got to say, A+ theme. People have been wanting this one in a pinball machine for a very long time. Speaks to so much 80s nerd culture, but I still don't get the multimorphic system. It seems like there's just so much open playfield with nothing happening with the screen there. Just seems like such a waste. So that was another disappointment for me seeing this in person. All right, guys, so you're here for the Pinball Expo. What do you think so far?
Really good.
Really good?
You should try out the PC area. It's called a Dark Fusion.
All right, I'll do that. What do you think that people should check out when they come here? What's the most important thing?
Spooky booth, man.
The spooky booth, I agree. All right, guys, thank you so much. And you're sure it's okay for me to put you in my video?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you're in. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
So we actually stopped by the AtGames booth as well, and, you know, it was good to see AtGames have a good showing at the Pinball Expo this year. Last year, they had so many complaints about the early beta of the Addams Family running on the machine. This time, the Zen Studio games were running well. They ended up selling all the machines they had on site, I think. I know Gallagher Guy bought the Peanuts, Alan Dags bought the Attack from Mars, and my buddy Crow actually picked up the Addams Family.
I actually did all of the Stern.
Crow,
Yeah.
my man, you just bought an AtGames Legends Pinball 4K, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
What made you buy one?
The fact that I've been hanging out here for an hour or so.
Did it help that MichaelBtheGameGenie put it together for you?
Yes, I saw MichaelBtheGameGenie putting together the machine. I was like, that's the one I want. The one that was put together by a professional.
To be fair, he didn't do the whole thing together. It was more me. He was supervisor. He was supervisor.
They helped me big time, and thank you, Rob and Michael B.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
it.
sweat. Delilah, is the transaction finalized?
I'm too shy.
I don't think it's begun yet.
Okay, we are now checking out Alan 1 Atari Asteroids Recharge. This is the first time, like, we've seen it in the background, but no one's really played it. Give you a look, it's inspired by the original arcade shape of the Asteroids cabinet. Of course, modernly done. It's got a big widescreen monitor on it, and our guest model, the most handsome man in home arcade, 19K Fox, is playing it.
What's going on, kids?
It's pretty rad, I gotta say that. Like, I like the classic details, like the volcano buttons. I don't know if I like the light up buttons. That's always one of those ones
One
where,
of those things is personal preference. It really
Yeah.
is. Like, is it necessary? No,
Yeah.
I'm not looking down here. I'm looking right here.
yeah.
The cabinet looks great. The artwork, this textured graphic here is nice.
Do you think it's done enough with the new gameplay and the new cabinet shape for arcade operators to want to pick this up and put them in like Dave & Buster's and Rec Rooms in Canada?
I think so. I mean, I think it's definitely unique enough. It's got the 16x9. Modern gamers are more familiar with, more comfortable with. Yeah, I mean, is it gonna be something that everybody wants? Maybe not, but I think it's a good homage to our DSL.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's nice. Buttons feel good.
Yeah. This marquee, the 2 layers of the marquee. I mean, it's a great looking cabinet, yeah, for sure.
All right, let's watch you get some gameplay, Foxy.
Here we go, buddy. Let's go to beginner. What's going on in the back? What's that noise?
What?
What's that loud noise?
I have no idea. Probably
Something breaking.
popper going off in a pinball
Yeah, I guess
machine.
so.
Is that in the machine?
It feels like it is. Yeah, it's some kind of a
So it's got a knocker in the machine. How about that?
Yeah, something on its side. I don't know if I may have broken it. I'm not sure.
What's the gameplay like? Is it smooth?
It feels pretty good. I mean, as far as the thruster is concerned, like, hold that thing down, you can take off. Good. I don't know. I kind of like it. Maybe not enough to buy the whole machine.
Yeah, they're like 15,000, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit much, I think.
Yeah. So another great thing about the Pinball Expo was the free play rooms and free play areas at the convention. There were tons of machines available for us to check out. Of course, some great 90s pins. It's so easy to get distracted by all the new machines coming out, all the new and shiny stuff, but we forget about all these cool pins from years before, and being able to go back and play some of these, especially for the first time where I'm not playing them through Visual Pinball, was such a rad experience. Guns N' Roses, I love the band, I like the Jersey Jack table, but I gotta tell you, the Data East table is so much better. Plus, you never know who you run into in the free play areas. What'd you think of the Pirates?
It's kind of cool, but the pirate ship, it rocks when you're in there. It actually is it's cool, but it kind of gave me like a weird, I don't know, sensory overload. It's cool though.
Alright guys, so it's me, it's Michael B. I'm here with Nick Madsen from Starcade Arcade in Minneapolis?
St. Paul.
St. Paul, Minnesota. So, Nick, what are you doing here at the convention?
So our owners of the arcade they have their hands in a bunch of different areas in the hobby. One of them is two of the owners own a company called Retro Arcade Remake.
Yep.
And what they're doing is they're remaking some of the classics such as Ice Cold Beer and Zeke's Peak.
Oh yeah.
So these are brand new reproductions of that classic game. A little bit more bulletproof compared to the older versions, except for when you're looking at me fixing one of my machines now, because he's a good man.
Hello, hello.
He's fixing the prototype. But yeah, so these go for $5,500.
Yeah.
Brand new. The floor model is $4,250. They're also working on other games such as a Battle Royale food fight on a cocktail table and a Battle Royale Warlords on a cocktail table.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be available very soon.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about Ice Cold Beer here. This is one of those staples where classic arcade collectors always have to have an ice cold beer. It's like one of the essential things. What makes it so special?
I think it draws more than just people who like video games and pinball. Like it's something different. It's something that's catchy. You can learn quickly, and it's just addicting to play.
Yeah, and these are relatively hard to find originally, aren't they?
They are, and the prices fluctuate like crazy because you never know what kind of condition you're going to get one that's used. And the old ones used to have a belt that would bring each side up and down. These ones have individual step motors, so it makes it a little more bulletproof.
A little more bulletproof, easier to keep running.
Absolutely. Maintenance is less than 2 minutes on them.
Can you give me a demonstration on one of these? I got these guys playing, but they're the shits.
I can, but B's a much better player than I am.
Really?
Yeah,
B, you want to do a little bit of a demonstration here?
Beer, sure. So this is ice cold beer. You hit the start button, and then you gotta get into the holes. Are you good at getting stuff into the holes?
I'm good at widening holes.
The controls are good and gentle, and you're just aiming to get in there, and you get into a hole. Yeah, so it goes from 1 to 10. Difficulty gets a little bit harder as you go up. But you know who's really good at this game? Mason. He's amazing. You're almost beat him.
All right.
Mike B, what do we got to do to get you in the tournament that's happening later?
What's the tournament for?
You can win a back or a front glass of ice cold beer and a prototype PCB of Warlords.
Well, I'll be around, so I could probably be in it.
I'll hit you up.
All right. All right, B, so what do you think so far of the recreation of ice cold beer? Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing an original, so having a nice clean version is really great to see the controls working, except for this one, the leaf switch is a little bit off on that one.
Yeah.
But otherwise, build quality on these are good. It's nice to see it in working, clean condition. And for a game like this, as it gets harder, you really need like those super sensitive controls. Why is it a pinball place? It's using leaf switches because you need that sensitivity to make sure you're balancing.
Right.
So.
And this is the Zeke's Peak is a prototype. It's not available yet, but it's going to be pretty quick here. Unfortunately, this one came with a bad leaf switch.
I've never ever heard of Zeke's Peak. Like ice cold beer, super familiar with. I've only ever run across one in all my journeys. This is the first time I've seen multiple, right?
In fact, you can get one for $4,200.
Yeah.
You should take it back to Canada.
$4,250.
$4,250.
Do you think I can just put that on the plane?
That's a carry-on.
Yeah.
Hey, you think they can make a 1/6 scale version of this if you can wave toys to do that?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, anyways, guys, that's ice cold beer. Very cool thing your company's doing, Nick. Something we've been following for a while. Like, ice cold beer is one of those names that are synonymous, even in our space, like the digital space.
Mm-hmm.
There was rumors that AtGames at one point were going to try to do it, but nothing came to fruition. But I mean, how good is digital compared to the real thing, right?
You're asking these controversial questions again, Mike.
Yeah, friggin' rad,
I
man.
played the fifth. No.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, that's my experience with Pinball Expo 2024. Highly recommend anybody who's even remotely into pinball, go check it out. You get your look at all the latest and greatest new pinball machines from all the big companies. On top of that, you've got other products there, much like the Allen 1 arcades, the Polycade. I don't know why anybody would want that. Seeing the ice cold beer recreation, there's so much to do. There's even like a retro video game swap meet there, all kinds of presenters. What a great event. Of course, the people that stood out for me, Stern, like you would expect, Spooky, I didn't expect anything different, but I was very surprised by Turner Pinball, and of course Jersey Jack with their games really coming along. What disappointed me, of course, was Multimorphic and how friggin' hard it was to be able to get anywhere close to Alice and actually play that. Most importantly, the thing I enjoyed the most was the memories, the friendships, and the experience, getting to see some people from YouTube I had only ever talked to online before, meeting them in person, getting to hang out, play some pinball. Overall, the weekend was fantastic. I recommend going to Pinball Expo, 10 out of 10. It's Michael B approved.